Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about two loops basically. First is for loop and the second is for each loop. So let us start the video. So here we will discuss about for loop. So for loop is also known as for a statement. So either we can call it loop or a statement. So there is no difference between these two. And this loop executes the statement in a code of block when a specific condition evaluates to true. So whenever the condition is true, then only some block of code will be executed. Otherwise, the loop will be terminated and the control will come out. And this loop is mostly used to retrieve the values of an array. So if we have array and we want to retrieve values, either all the element of the array or some subset of these values, then we can use for loop. And here you can see the syntax of for loop. So we have to use the for keyword, and in front of that we have to write three things separated by semicolon. So first part will be initialization, second part will be test expression, and third part will be repeat. And below of that in curly bracket we can write code block. So in initialization we can create one variable and we can assign some initial value to it. And in condition or text expression we can write the condition that how long we want to execute this loop. So in every loop this condition will be checked and it will keep executing as long as the condition is true. So whenever it becomes false, this loop will be terminated and control will come out. And whenever this loop repeats, so the expression what we have written in repeat will be executed. So mostly increment of initialization comes in repeat here. So every time this loop repeats, so this value will get incremented and the new will be assigned to this initialization variable. And now we will discuss about for each loop. So like for loop only, for each loop is also known as for each statement. For each loop is used for looping over an array or collection of object, strings, numbers. So if we have array or some multiple values and we want to operate on them, then we can use for each loop. And mostly this loop is used where we need to work with one object at a time. So collection contains lot of elements and in every loop we want to fetch one element and we want to use that particular element in code block, then we can use for each loop. And here you can see the syntax of for each loop. So we have to write the for each keyword and in braces we have to write like this. So here we have to give some variable name and we have to use the in keyword, and after that we have to write the collection variable name here. So every time this loop executes, so one element of this collection will be assigned to this variable, and next time when it executes, so the other element will be assigned to this. So this loop will keep executing until the last element is assigned to this variable, and we can use this variable anywhere in the code block here. And now we will discuss about difference between for and for each loop. So for loop execute statement or block of a statement until the given condition is false. So it will keep executing as long as the condition is true, and whenever it becomes false, immediately loop will be terminated. And for each loop execute statement or block of a statement for each element present in the array. So it will keep executing as long as the element is there in array, and it will keep executing until the last element. And here we don't need to initialize any variable, and we don't need to put any condition. So there is no minimum or maximum limit in for each loop. And for loop is normal construct, and it can be used for multiple purposes. So there is not any specific purpose where for loop can be used, but for each is designed specifically to work only on collection or enumerables object. So we cannot use for each loop for any other purpose. And in for loop we can iterate in both the direction, either from starting or end, or from end to start. So in both forward and backward direction it will work. Whereas in for each loop we are bound to iterate only in forward direction. We cannot iterate in backward direction. So these are few difference between for and for each. And now we will try some hands-on so that we can get some practical knowledge. Here I have opened PowerShell ISE. Now we will be seeing some examples one by one. So starting with the first example, here we will be seeing how for loop works. So this is how we define the for loop. First we have to use the for keyword, and here you can see that we have divided these three expressions with semicolon. So in first part we have assigned some value to a variable called $x, and in second part we have put the condition expression where we are checking the value of x is less than 10 or not. And in last expression we are incrementing $x variable with 1. So this is nothing but repeat. This is the condition expression and this is initialization. And in curly bracket we have used the code expression. So every time this loop executes, so it will be checking the value of x which is less than 10. So as long as this value is less than 10, it will keep executing, and in every loop the value of x will be printed. And whenever the loop repeats, the value of x will be incremented to 1 here, and it will again assigned to $x here. So next time when it runs and it becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, and again it will be less than 10 only, so in that case again it will be printed. And as soon as this value becomes 10 and 10 will be equal to 10, but here we have put the condition less than, so this condition will not be satisfied and the loop will be broken. So if I execute this one, so value from 1 to 9 has been printed. 10 has not been printed because we have put the condition less than 10, and it is starting from 1. So every time this value will be printed and it will be incremented by 1 here. Now let's move to other example. In other example also we are using for loop only, and here first of all we have created one array with color names, and in for loop again we have initialized the index of array, and again we are checking the condition that index is less than the length of array or not. And whenever the loop repeats, we are incrementing the index by 1. And in code expression, we are printing the array element with particular index number. So if I execute this one, so first time this loop executes, so here we have put 0, so 0 will be less than the length of the array, which will be 5, and 0 will be used here. So in 0th index of the particular array is red, so that is the reason red has been printed over here. When it next time runs, so 0 will become 1 because we have incremented here, and again 1 is less than 5, so it will be executed and 1 will be placed here. So next time orange will be printed, and likewise it will come to end where index will be equal to the length of the array. So when it becomes 5 and 5 will not be less than the length of array, so it will be terminated. And now let's move to the third example. Here we have used for each loop. So in for each loop we have to write the array name here, and we have to use the in keyword. So first of all, I have initialized and created one array which contains the element from number 1 to 10, and in code expression I am just printing the particular element of the array. So each time this executes, so it will fetch one element from this array and it will assign to this value, and we are printing this value. So every time this loop executes, so one element of this array will be printed. So if I execute, so you can see it here that first time it fetched the first element and it has assigned here. Next time when loop runs, the second element has been assigned to the particular variable number, and every time it runs, the code block get executed and it is getting printed over here, and it will keep repeating until the last element of the array, which is 10 here. So that is the reason it is printing value from 1 to 10. Now let's move to other example here. So this is also similar example only, but here instead of giving number we have given fruit names to the array variable. So here again we are fetching one element from the array fruits and we are assigning to variable called item. So whenever this loop executes, one element from this array called apple, second time orange, third time guava, and fourth time pomegranate will be assigned to this variable. And every time this loop executes, this will execute the code block where we are printing the variable called item. So in each loop, one element from this array will be printed on the screen. And now let's execute this one. So you can see here that all the element of this array has been printed one by one. So this is how we can use for and for each loop. Now let's move to other part of this topic. And now we have come to end of this topic. So we have learned about for loop, for each loop. We have also seen difference between for loop and for each loop. And at last we have tried some hands-on experience on this one. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.